You think you've got women figured out, don't you? They like compliments, they want emotional connection, and they crave stability. But let's be real, that's what they want you to believe. Today, we're blowing the lid off the things that women really don't want you to know. We're about to dive into the deep end of the psychological pool, into uncharted waters where the truth gets a little murky. And trust me, once you see through the smoke and mirrors, you'll never interact with women the same way again. You see, for centuries, men have been told to be the providers, the protectors, and the strong, silent types. Meanwhile, women have been weaving an intricate web of subtle cues, emotional hints, and psychological moves that keep men in check. But here's the truth they don't want you to uncover. The game is more psychological than you've ever imagined. Once you crack the code, you'll have unlocked a new level of understanding that will change the way you see every interaction. So, let's get straight to the point. Power is everything. But I'm not talking about brute strength or how much money you make. I'm talking about emotional power, social power, and the silent influence you exert over a situation. Women don't want you to know how closely they're watching. They won't come out and say it, but they're constantly assessing your ability to stay calm under pressure, to lead without being overbearing, and to command attention without saying a word. The minute you falter, they're making mental notes, and once you've lost that control, it's a long way back up. Here's the kicker. They're not testing you consciously. Women are wired to be drawn to power. It's not about being the loudest guy in the room or the one flexing the most cash. It's about subtle, almost imperceptible cues. They'll throw you a curveball just to see how you handle it, how you respond when things don't go your way, or how you react to her teasing. Stay cool, and you pass the test. Get flustered, and well, you're already playing catch-up. Now let's talk about mystery. This is the silent weapon that most men underestimate. Women will never admit to how much they crave it, but here's the truth. The more you reveal about yourself, the less they need to figure out. And once you're completely known, the thrill of discovery is gone. Women are hardwired to seek out what they can't easily understand. That's why keeping a bit of mystery in your interactions is crucial. It keeps them guessing, keeps them intrigued. You might think that being open and transparent builds trust. Sure, to a degree, but too much vulnerability too soon, that's a game ender. When you lay it all out on the table, there's nothing left for her to wonder about, nothing left for her to work for. You ever wonder why women seem to gravitate toward men who are emotionally unavailable? Or why the bad boy trope never seems to die out? It's not because women love jerks. It's because those guys understand a fundamental truth. What's hard to get is valued more. The less available you are, the more she'll try to win you over. But if you're always at her beck and call, responding to every message within seconds, she starts to take you for granted. The mystery dies, and with it, her attraction. But mystery alone isn't enough. You need confidence, and I'm not talking about over-the-top bravado or ego-driven arrogance. Real confidence is quiet. It's that calm, unshakable energy that says, I don't need to prove myself. Women are incredibly attuned to this, even if they won't admit it. The moment you second guess yourself, the moment you seek their validation, that's when you lose. She won't say it outright, but she's constantly observing. Every hesitation, every doubt you display gets filed away in her subconscious, and slowly but surely, she starts to lose respect. Want to hear something shocking? Women are constantly testing your emotional stability. Whether they know it or not, they throw little challenges your way, subtle digs, or minor annoyances to see if you'll crack. They want to see if you'll stand firm or if you'll bend to their will. They're testing for strength, but not the physical kind. They're testing your mental resilience. And here's the secret. They won't ever tell you this, because once you realize it's a game, you're in control. Speaking of games, let's talk about emotional manipulation. Yes, that's right. Women don't want you to know how much sway they have over your emotions. Have you ever noticed how the entire room changes when a woman is upset? That's no accident. Women have an intuitive understanding of how to shift the energy in any space. A single word, a raised eyebrow, even a well-timed sigh, and suddenly the whole atmosphere is charged. You start feeling responsible for fixing it, for smoothing things over. But guess what? That's part of the game. And here's where it gets interesting. You can neutralize this by staying calm, by refusing to get drawn into the emotional storm. You assert your dominance in the situation. Women respect men who can maintain their composure no matter how emotionally charged the environment gets. It's a form of power that they find irresistibly attractive. Stability. They might not tell you, but the man who can keep his head while everyone else is losing theirs, that's the man they trust. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: women's insecurities. Every woman, no matter how confident she seems, carries insecurities. But here's the kicker: they don't want you to see them. Why? Because vulnerability, when exposed, can feel like weakness. But if you can subtly acknowledge her insecurities without drawing too much attention to them, you'll form a bond that goes beyond the superficial. Here's how you do it. You offer quiet reassurance without overdoing it. You don't need to shower her with compliments. Just a few well-placed words of affirmation can make all the difference. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Women compare themselves to other women far more than they'll ever let on. You might think it's all sisterhood and solidarity, but underneath it all, there's competition. When you're with her, she's always evaluating how she stacks up against the other women around. And guess what? Your role in this silent competition is more important than you realize. If you acknowledge another woman's qualities too much, you'll spark jealousy. But if you don't acknowledge her at all, she'll feel invisible, and that's a surefire way to lose her interest. Now, this next truth is one they'll never openly admit. Women's friends influence them more than you think. Even in relationships, women seek approval from their social circles. If her friends like you, it's game on. If they don't, well, you've got a tough road ahead. What's crazy is, she'll act like she's making decisions on her own, but behind the scenes, her friends are pulling the strings. It's subtle, but if you pay attention, you'll notice the little changes in her behavior after she's spent time with her friends. Win them over, and you're halfway there. And finally, leadership. This is one of the biggest secrets that women don't want you to figure out. Despite the push for equality and independence, many women still crave strong, decisive leadership in a relationship. Not in a domineering or controlling way, but in a way that shows you can make decisions, that you have a vision, and that you're not afraid to take the lead when necessary. Women respect men who know what they want and pursue it with confidence. And while they won't admit it, they feel safer and more attracted to men who can lead with both strength and empathy. But here's the kicker: the leadership they crave isn't always obvious. It's not about making every decision for her or controlling her life. It's about being someone who can guide the ship when the waters get rough, someone who can take charge without stepping on her independence. This balance, it's incredibly attractive, and once you've mastered it, she'll never want to let go. In the end, what women don't want you to know is that the game isn't played on the surface. It's in the subtleties, the unspoken dynamics, and the power plays that happen in the background. Once you start seeing these patterns, you'll realize that everything you thought you knew about attraction is only scratching the surface. And now, the truth is in your hands. What you do with it, well, that's up to you.